Hello everyone, my name is Murata. Today I want to talk about why I think criticism is a negative thing, especially on athletes. So first I want to ask everyone, what do you think this is?
A soccer ball.
Definitely a soccer ball.
Well, I think as a football, because the sport generally was from England, and that's what most people in the world call them. So this is I like soccer too, and there's this club that I support called Chelsea FC, and a couple of years ago they were having some matches in their season, but they didn't have the best performance. They lost and also tied, and the fans weren't really happy. And one time they were going against this strong team. At first I wanted them to win, because if they won against a strong team, they would get the fans would be happy and there might be hope in being on the top four. But I wanted to watch the match, but I couldn't because it was during the midnight. So in the morning, I went to Google and searched up the results, and they lost 6-0. And honestly, I was really disappointed at first. I thought it wasn't real. So I actually watched highlights, and they actually lost 6-0, and I was disappointed. I just couldn't believe it. After that, I think I stopped supporting it for a while, and I just realized later, was I really doing the right thing? Because, I do understand that I might be disappointed or not happy with what happened, but I just realized that I'm not the one who's playing, or I'm not the one who's getting criticized. So I need to be a little more cautious of what I'm doing. So this is the club that I support, and they're in the English Premier League, which is the league in England. And each club, they have their own fan clubs, and sometimes those fan clubs are very sensitive. They could be happy and angry or enraged, and this is just an example of what fans react like. They usually get out their chair or scream or throw garbage to the pitch, and I just think that people are overreacting too much. So next I want to talk about a player in the club. His name is Kepa. He's a goalkeeper just like me, and I think he's a really good keeper. Sometimes he did some really good saves, but on the other hand, he did make some mistakes, and because of that, there are these hate comments. And as you can see right here, there's one comment saying that he's trash, he needs to be replaced immediately. And I just think that it's really disrespectful, and you can't, say that if you're not if you don't experience, because I'm a goalkeeper, and sometimes I do make mistakes, and it is embarrassing. But what makes it worse for this person is that everyone in the world is watching, and whenever you do something, they know what you actually did. So I just thought that sometimes people need to be careful about what they're actually saying. And next, I want to talk about another player. His name is Bukayo Saka, and last year he was in the England national football team, and they participated in the European Championship, and it was in the final, and most people thought that England was going to win, especially England fans. Although I voted for Italy, and eventually it went to 1-1, and it was tied, which means that the game was going to penalty shootouts, and it was 3-1, and Italy was winning. And this person was the last person to kick the penalty, and the thing was, if he missed, it was over for England. They would have lost, and Italy would win. And he goes for the penalty kick, and when he shoots, well, the keeper saved it, and they lost, and Italy won. And after that, England fans got really angry, and there are a lot of hate comments. Well, especially here, they're saying that go back to Nigeria, or don't ever play for the country, or he sucks. And I just think it's really racist, because this person is black, or compared to other people from England, and they're just saying terrible things. And I don't think he deserves to be treated like this. He's only 20 years old, and they're just treating him like he's an animal, or garbage. And I just feel sometimes the sensitivity is what making people say these terrible things. And the last thing I want to talk about is this Colombian football player, and His name's Andres Escobar, and he's actually dead right now because he played in the 1994 World Cup, and that time Colombia lost to the United States 2-1, and he did an own goal. And after that, Colombia was, disappointed, or they were sad. And when he went back to Colombia, he was just hanging out with his friends, but at the night he was approached by 2 terrorists, and they shot him in the chest. He bled to death, and by the time he was brought to the hospital, he couldn't be saved, and he was dead. I thought that, or when I heard this on YouTube, I was absolutely shocked. I couldn't believe that terrorists would kill people after a mistake. I do understand that some these mistakes could be costly for sports reason, but this is you can't take someone's life for a mistake that anyone can make, and it's not his fault that they lost, it's the whole team. So last thing, I just want to conclude that if you want to criticize someone, I suggest to use constructive criticism, because it's a much nicer way of criticizing someone. It's like giving feedback, and they could feel better, because if you people need to make mistakes, or else they won't improve, and they might do it again. So it's good to hear the constructive criticism. But if you just criticize people without thinking or having a purpose for it, then I think it's not really good. Thank you.